Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Kiwi KC and today's video is going to be on the topic of why did I join the military? So I've been in the military for 10 going on 11 years. I joined in March of 2006. Before military life, I had just graduated from high school. I didn't really necessarily have a plan. I knew that I wanted to do hair, obviously, and I really had a passion for dancing. And at the time, I was working at McDonald's, which was my first job, and I would also braid individuals' hair in my city, and there was really no purpose. I know for a while that I wanted to make my mother proud. I am the product of a single parent home. There were three of us in my mother's home, my older brother and my younger sister, and I was the middle child. And so in the midst of that, I knew that I wanted to make my mother proud, but I also felt the need to have to protect her. So I didn't necessarily want to leave. I wanted to stay. And during this time as well, while I was in high school, one of my childhood best friends joined, and she went to basic training. I wrote her here and there, and I remember her asking me to write her more, and I really just didn't have the time. I'm like, why can't I just email this chick? And so until I actually went through basic training, I felt so apologetic while I was there because I did not take the time to write her. But her first base was in Alaska, and I remember when she came home to visit, this chick always had money. She had this confidence about her. She had this aura about her where I'm like, man, I really want this. And before she even went to the military, she would go to the recruiter's office. And what I liked about our recruiter eventually was he wasn't overbearing. He was not a salesperson. He was very laid back. He had this charisma about him. And it was just one of those, like, you would be lucky to be a part of the Air Force kind of thing. And he didn't chase anybody. He didn't call. It was one of those, if you want to be a part of this, you're going to come and be a part of this. So watching her and seeing everything that she went through, and it was one of those, man, if she could do it, I can do it. This was something that was great. This girl was going to school for free. And so because school was cool, but it wasn't, again, something that I was hyped about doing or even had a desire to do, I really didn't care. In a sense of I did not put forth the effort to kind of go to a university. I went to visit FSU. Shout out to them Florida State Noles. And I fell in love with that school, but because I didn't take school too much seriously, it was one of those, if I felt overwhelmed at the thought of, man, could I even get in? And then if I could, how was I going to pay for this? How was I going to do this? And so for her to be a part of something where they took care of her, she could come home on leave when she was in Alaska. They paid for school. They had so many opportunities to see the world. It was like, man, this was something that I was really thinking about doing, but didn't really necessarily talk to anyone about. And so I remember one day talking to my mother, and she was like, it's okay for you to go do something. It's okay for you to go see the world. It's okay for you to leave the house. I'm going to be okay. It was one of those mother intuitions where deep down inside, she knew that I was holding myself back because I felt like I had to stay there. And I remember the only two individuals I spoke with about this or three, were my two best friends and my aunt. And so I come from a very big family. And so I remember telling my aunt, and she was like, do it. Go do it. Because she was big on us leaving our hometown, because I come from a very, very small hometown, Melbourne, Florida, even though I was born in Cleveland, and we'll get into that in a different video. And so we moved to Brevard County, and my aunt was big on her nieces and nephew and even her children not staying there. It was a get out, go see the world, and come back to visit. So on a whim, um, I went to go see the recruiter, and I had taken an ASVAB test in high school, and they kind of tricked us. They were like, "You don't know what you want to do in life? Come take this test." So we took this test, and everybody was in uniform, and I was like, "This is super serious." They tricked us, and it ended up being our ASVABs, and my score was average. It was enough for me to get into the military, but it had just expired like the month before. So living in Melbourne, which is right around or the Orlando area, so to speak, I had to go to Jacksonville, which was the MEP station at the time, and I had to take the ASVAB. I took it, took the physical, and passed. And so I remember my recruiter calling, and he was like, "Is this something you want to do?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we signed the paperwork, and I was in the delayed entry program, the DEP program, and I remember telling my family, and it was kind of a shocker, but then at the same time, because of my personality, they said they could see me doing it. It was a lot of mixed reviews from the people from my hometown. Many individuals did not wish me well. They did not want me to go, or they said I was going to be back. And it was surprising to kind of see the approach that many individuals took. And let's say I went to go take the test and my physical in October. I told them in December, around Christmas, my family and friends. And I remember my recruiter calling in December, and he said, "Okay, I got 2 dates. Do you want to leave in January? Or do you want to leave? No. Do you want to leave in December, which I would have had like a week or two to go? Or do you want to leave in March?" And so because I had just told my family, they were like, "Can you please just leave in March?" So March, the weekend of March 28th, 2006, on a Sunday, we went to church, went to my recruiter's office, and we drove to Jacksonville. And it was my mother, my aunts, and my boyfriend at the time. And we got up there, and I just remember having this sense of excitement, yet being fearful because of the unknown. You can have all the conversations in the world and you can feel so prepared, but until you truly go through it, you don't know, how it's going to be. And from then on, it has truly been one of the best experiences in my life. I remember reading somewhere where it said less than 1% of U.S. citizens actually have the honor and privilege to even put on this uniform. So if you look at that, that's not a lot at all, but it seems like it is a lot. But less than 1%. And so on this journey, I have been stationed in Portugal. I've been stationed in Italy and stationed in San Antonio, Texas. I have been deployed twice, and I don't regret this. Does it have its days? Absolutely, just like any job. But this has definitely been one of the best experiences of my life. I have met lifetime friends, and I know I wouldn't be the woman or the person that I was today if I didn't join. And I remember before I left asking my mother, "What can I do to make you proud? I just want you to be proud of me." And she told me to be better than her, do better than her, do the things that she didn't do. If I did the things that she did, then it was just enough, but it wasn't a proud moment, so to speak. It was have a sense of accomplishment, give me something tangible, or give me an achievement that I haven't done. And I know that I've done my job. And so I pride myself on, I'm very family oriented, and the close knitness of my mother's side has truly been the foundation of the woman that I am today. And that for me is the reason why I joined. I didn't have a plan, but I just knew that I wanted to be a part of something that was bigger, greater, and better than me. And seeing the experience that my best friend went through, and her experiences and the great things that she had. Now she didn't paint an unrealistic picture she told me was gonna suck, and I was like, well, McDonald's suck. Or, you know, talking to my mother and my aunts, their jobs certain days suck. And so it was like, okay, so that comes with any and every job. But to work for a company or be a part of something that takes care of you, do they get it right all the time? No. But I think that's with any job, any occupation. But I would not trade this experience for the world. And I'm forever grateful for this uniform that I put on. So this is the reason why I joined. So at this time, I want to open the floor. And if you all have any questions for me, so let's do this. As soon as I get enough questions to do a Q&A, that'll be one of my next topics. And so until the next time, thank you for watching. So please comment, rate, subscribe. It's free to just subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope there's something that I said that was inspiring, insightful, and motivational.